much. We got a lot going. We're approaching the So for the next 55 days, starting tonight, so every night from today up until the day before Thanksgiving, up until the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, no games, and then Thanksgiving, obviously, there's a game, probably a game on Black Friday. Then you get college, then you get the NFL, then you get the NFL, then you get the the first couple of weeks, and the NFL's been kind of flat, but we'll get into it. On who exactly is in college football. By the way, I didn't tell you this until we got on. There's a kid on Boise State. He has 13 touchdowns and one of those games he sat the second half. He is minus 150 for 3 touchdowns at Saturday. Minus 150. May have changed. Yeah. Yeah, well, you got to drive back into Jersey. Oh, you can do it PA. No, you can't do it PA. The last couple of times I've ever taken a college player prop, I've been going to the vet, or I'll be in Jersey for whatever reason. By the way, first time going in there. It's huge, and there's another one a half mile down the road in case you missed the big one. I went into it. Yeah, we got back on track, and I was like, oh, I gotta, where the game ended at like. I stopped and got a 12-pack. That place is enormous. It's like a Home Depot with alcohol. I've never seen a place. Distributors in PA. It's no different price-wise than what I pay in Philly, but I was like, I'm already on the way home. I could just, they don't let you do things I want. Spent like maybe $25, not too bad. But yeah, big one. And then yeah, just putting the pieces of the frame back together. That'll be the next project. Baby furniture from IKEA or Walmart or Amazon. Yeah, I don't know if we were working on it. Yeah, Amazon was the main thing on there. We've been working on it. We started, obviously. 11 gifts have been purchased so far. Just so you know, they can't give you advice. Goff last week. So I'm in a dynasty league, which is where you keep your entire roster. Goff, Jacoby Brissett, Anthony Richardson, and Trevor Lawrence in that. And I thought a couple years ago, this would be the future. I started that league. This kind of stinks. And this whole time it's been okay. Lawrence is the future. Or Lawrence stinks. And Richardson, and it's Goff and Jacob. Not the two guys that I thought were. I'm telling you, he makes throws that no one else. And then he is so talented. And I've kind of been on this, not to be a anti-bandwagoner, but I've been on this train for a while. I thought he was the most talented quarterback in the draft last year, but I really thought he was he's got such a big arm. He just makes these ridiculous throws, and then Did they? Carson Wentz. Oh, Stroud, you mean? Yeah. Bryce Young's done a good job there a couple of weeks fetching coffee for Andy Dalton. I think he's eventually going to start. So this is, I know this is not where we were starting, but I do have a take here. And it bothered me because I don't want to be companion takesman, but I've had this thought for a few years now. Really ever since the Goff was here, because those two guys got drafted. Here's the ball. Before that, you would draft a quarterback. You would have, like the Kansas City team. I know this is an extreme example because Mahomes is so supremely talented. And they had Smith, but you can still win games. You can still win the division. They're winning 10 games a year with this guy. Let's draft this guy who's kind of a project, and at that point, super raw in Mahomes. Smith for 15 of the 16 games. Mahomes started in 17 against the Broncos, I think, because the division already been played. And then you have them sit and draft the scout team, probably gets another and then when the Eagles drafted Carson Wentz, the plan, until Teddy Bridgewater blew his leg out, was to have Sam Bradford start the season. Checked it down 63 times this game. This is why, etc. And but now you have these guys who are only in some cases 3 years out of who you draft onto an awful team, because if you're drafting early, your team stinks. It's usually a byproduct of your trenches. Teams are bad enough. So you throw a quarterback like day into a situation where the team is terrible. You have a couple pieces here and there. Like Daniel Jones, who is he from? And you throw these guys in there. I really think that the model should be get him, even if it's a stopgap guy that's not on the team previously, like whoever ends up with the first pick. If they're going to go all in and get Quinn Ewing, I think keep Jones. Come in, start 9 games, and then you put your rookie quarterback in. I think when they start these guys, Bryce Young, Stroud was the outlier, obviously. Daniel, Caleb Williams is like behind a paper mache offensive line. How's that supposed to develop? I understand they got 3 decent receivers, but like, how's he supposed to develop on a team where it's far from what the team's going to look like when he is? young I think they're giving keys to these teams so early, and it's usually because the coaches are on the hot seat or the GM's on the hot seat, or there's pressure because you are Chicago. It's a pretty big market. I don't love the idea that you're drafting a 21 years old. It's not even like a full man body yet, and you're saying, okay, here, go win games so I can, go 7-9 and save my life. Yeah. It also, yeah, and what Chip, yeah. They had their mind made up that at some point it was going to be Tua's team. I thought that benefited Tua more than if he would have started week 1. And I mean, also worth noting that the NFL games also started to adopt all this college games, all the option stuff. That was never really a thing until Chip came to the NFL. And the option offense, a little bit of tempo here and there, spread stuff. And also back in the day at the NFL, when a quarterback was drafted, so much stuff. 250 yards, you were a star. So back in when maybe when like he was weird because they said okay, just go and hand the ball 40 times off, and you're going to be under center, and you're going to do it. Now it's like if Matt Leinart was drafted like today, he'd be in the shotgun. So you're asked so much. What is asked of you nowadays is so much more than it was 15, 20 years ago. Really? Took their under, and it was one of the teams I wanted the under for because I thought people were too high on them. They're a year away from too many new pieces. I still like Tampa a lot. I don't like them tonight, but I like them a lot going forward. But you're right. I mean, they can Vrabel's right there. Belichick's practically begging to coach a team. Oh yeah, Cliffy Pope. Dude, Cliff is QB whisperer. They went 2 games up. Yeah, I don't think this is full-on Kellen Moore offense. Granted, last week they were Kellen Moore was the top 5 part of that might be because last week they were missing half the team, but even the first couple of weeks there wasn't a ton of motion, and the offense still looks good. When you have a running back like Clark and your quarterback who's limited, I think under center passes and runs and rollouts and things like that should be where you almost take a little bit of it's really great to have you're surveying the field and the lockdown process, and he's an intelligent guy, but on the field it certainly doesn't seem so. I think the fewer decisions you ask Jalen Hurts to make, the better. And if they can reduce the amount of information he has to process on a like basis, obviously over time he can have more, but I think right now there's might be why the motion is slowing. But at the very least, it gives you a tip off if they're in man or zone, and then maybe that can change a little bit. But this is not a full this is, I thought with all the weapons they had on offense and the talent at the offensive line positions that this would be a great situation. I wanted Kingsbury, but I was fine with that. But there's a reason why I was yeah. Yeah, and I know Mike Williams. He has a little bit more input than we think that he led us to believe before the season began. The way it's sold to us in the offseason was Sirianni and Kellen Moore has most of the control of the offense, but it's Sirianni, I feel like at times. I don't remember if I said this last week. I feel like he's making decisions almost to a certain just for the sake of being like, hey, I'm the guy that gets to do stuff. We're going to go for it on 4th and 4 on the 2-yard line or whatever. We're going to not punt, we're going to kick 58-yard field goal. And to and you want to have identity, and the Eagles won a Super Bowl by being aggressive. But at a certain point, you have I don't love this. I was fine with last season, because of the collapse. I know that there are other elements and things that play into that, but they want to Tech, and then they're going to hire coordinators that'll eventually get plucked. But this would have been the perfect situation for a guy that was, made it to the AFC title game with the Titans a couple years ago, a guy whose name and they have this weird Guido making decisions for the Eagles, and is eventually going to probably next week. Yeah, I think it's the Browns. They do it. Johnson, but we'll see. Too bad the defensive backs. There's only one defensive back that seems to win the my audio cut out, but Quinyon Mitchell's been playing really well. I've been impressed with hopefully. Can they trade it for Riddick? Is that allowed? Apparently throwbacks. Oh, jeez. Perfect segue into the McMahon documentary. Are the Falcons wearing throwbacks? Oh, they do? Okay. Big fan of the Falcons. Big fan of their I think they're in the they're wearing the red helmets tonight. Big fan of these jerseys. They should make these permanent uniforms. Yeah, I would be all over that. I think the rebranded. Giants just added one rebranded. Chargers did it recently. I thought they had a perfect set the year they went to the Super Bowl. That like old school blue with the ram horn that actually looks like a ram horn. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the Seahawks back to the old, the silver helmet and stuff. Even as an alternate. Yeah, I thought the Texans competitive first. Speaking of amazing decision. Can you imagine Brady having to wear those ugly uniforms James wore? And the principal. Put an M&M in the front. Alright, where do you want to go from here? Not that bad. Let's jump in to the rational. I am about halfway which is kind of like it's more so, which I understand because I think they started recording it a few years ago. I didn't learn anything. A lot of these stories told me it was raining outside, I would have to go look out the window to be sure he wasn't lying to me. And there's something weird about these retired wrestlers. Next time you see it works. Like, why does it need to be so? Why does it need to be so? just want them to not look like they're fucking at a pizza party. Vince is dressed in Vince is I have enjoyed it. I do enjoy technical documentaries. It's hard to get me into this type of stuff. I still haven't seen The Last Dance. I think the last sports documentary I watched was the Aaron Hernandez one. 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, that's good to know. Jeez.
The whole time. My bad.
Are we recording at least?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least that's working.
Oh, Jesus. My bad. Uh-oh. Shout out to Perry.
No. Thank God for him.
My bad.
There he is. Oh, he left it. There's now one person there. It's just me. It's just me, Oos.
Just me, Oos. Dang.
Yeah, so I'm not a big sports documentary guy. I will watch The Last Dance eventually. I'll probably watch the one that they're doing on LeBron currently.
Mm-hmm.
There was there one about the 01 Sixers recently?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I'm not a big documentary because I'm not huge on spinning narratives. I'd rather get an objective view of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clear the Vince one is not a very objective thing. It's Hogan lying, Richard lying, Bret Hart lying, everybody lying.
I can't wait till they do a Goldberg, like Dark Side of the Ring or anything related with Goldberg. They bring Bret Hart in there.
Yeah.
He's just going to tee off.
Let me tell you about this guy. Yeah, the documentary's been okay. I watched a couple episodes. I don't. Who cares? Ask him. Have him do your taxes. Goldberg.
So you haven't seen
what else?
The McMahon episode, like the family episode?
The one where they talk about him and his dad and Shane.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
I don't think I finished it, but I think I started that.
Okay.
I heard Shane talk about the UFC and everything. I don't know what episode on because I'm not logged into my own Netflix, so it's like in on the devices, but I can't just open. I can't open it on my phone and see what episode we're on. I think we're on 5 or 6.
You're almost to the end. But
yeah, we got through.
I liked it.
We're done the steroid stuff. We're done the Owen stuff. We're done the attitude stuff. The WrestleMania stuff is also interesting. So I listened to Jim Cornette and Brian Last talk about it, and Cornette was like, "I think they're overstating how much they invested in WrestleMania. If it flopped, they would have just been fine. It's just they would have lost money. It's like he was gonna die if WrestleMania didn't work."
Did you see the part where the numbers were, people disagree on the numbers of how many people
Meltzer
actually attended?
I actually think Meltzer's I think he's a dork, but he's definitely the only person who you can trust to get that actual figure. And even 73,000 versus like 93,000 is it's a big disparity, but it's also a lot of people. So there's nothing to be ashamed about that.
Yeah, you're going over a lot of people. There are a lot of heads. It's not like I'm saying it's a sold out crowd, but then we're looking at an AEW show. Ain't the same, brother. Ain't the same.
Oh yeah. Although they did pack Wembley.
They did pack Wembley. Not sold out, but they packed it.
Oh, okay. It doesn't matter. This 60,000 people. I'm interested to see how they're going to do. They're in the Rangers ballpark next year. We're all in.
Really?
Which, they're in Arlington. They're going to Wembley for the Japanese thing. Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door, that's what it is.
And then they're doing something else. WWE just announced today they're doing the UK for the Elimination Chamber. And Royal Rumble in Indy just got announced.
I'm sorry to hear that for them. Those pay-per-views sucks.
Get ready to enjoy a Grayson Waller effect.
All right. So Bad Blood is this Saturday. coinciding with the Phillies game that we'll get into.
And college football.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and
Um,
potentially, I'm like back into like baseball mode too. I'm like, I really want to finish my dynasty with the Coastal in the video game, but I also want to finish my franchise with the Cubs. Like, I'm really I'm on the fence here, and I only got two TVs downstairs. First world problem. But I'm not thrilled about Bad Blood opening while the Phillies will probably be like in nut cutting time in like the seventh or eighth inning. I want to devote. I was hoping Drew and Punk would be the main event, so I could devote my whole attention to that. Still play
right.
the video game. Now I got to use the two TVs for the Phillies and Bad Blood, unless the Phillies are blowing out the Mets/Brewers.
I like the optimism of the Phillies are blowing one of these teams out.
Yeah,
Look at you, sneaky.
we got a runner on third, bottom four. Sal Frelick at the plate.
Yeesh.
So Brewers are threatening with 2 outs.
Okay, we have another 5-card main event or main card for Bad Blood. You posed
Kill
a
me.
question. Yeah, you posed a question. Should there be more matches? Sammy versus Gunther, Braun versus Jay for a rematch, I guess, for the title.
Mhm. The euphemism.
The Scissor Gang
The
versus
the
Lyra and the two
the
girls.
no pop empire.
L.A. Mello Andrade. That hasn't even been announced or anything. What?
No,
What are we
it's not
doing
even
with
a
this?
thing. So my problem with these 5-match cards, which I get it, they want to space them out and give them each time. When you open with a main event style, it's not enough to get the crowd hot. And when you open with Cody and AJ Styles going 30 minutes, working really slowly, it's not like you want to start with like. I think one of the best cards they ever produced was in 2002 SummerSlam, and the open was Ray versus Kurt Angle, and it was 8 minutes, and it was perfect. It was high. It was high impact. Bunch of cool stuff happened. The crowd was into it. You want to get them locked in early because now, when you start with a main event match that works so slowly, the entrances are 40 minutes, and then this and that and that, and it's such a slow. And then and you know who's winning. It kind of kills the crowd a little bit. And I feel bad for this show specifically because the sequencing that's been leaked. I feel bad for the second match. Which
The toilet match.
yeah, it's bad enough the first match is going to be an hour and they're blowing off a few that's going to get they're going to pop the crowd. And then I don't know. So what do we have?
Well, we have here the projected match card is Drew versus Punk, the main event opener that you're alluding to. I am on
Okay.
the same page. That should be the main event, the only story that really matters. You can argue
It's
the women,
first.
but
So I didn't watch for about 15 years, but upon doing some research and based on what you've told me, based on what Punk said, the last like 15 years, every Hell in a Cell match has just been. It's like you get to the Royal Rumble and the Royal Rumble match on the card. It's like the Hell in a Cell. You get to the pay-per-view and it's like, I guess we'll put these two in there. We'll put these three in there. This is the first Hell in a Cell match that has like needed the Hell in a Cell. It's not like the Hell in a Cell needed a match, and it's a perfect story. It's a 9-month build. These two are both really good on the mic. They've talked everybody into the building. I'm gonna watch because of these two, and you can't open the show with this. I feel bad because the second match is Bailey and Nia Jax. It's gonna be fun, but that's gonna be right after the crowd goes ballistic, and
Dead.
by the time those two are in the ring, everybody's gonna be in the bathroom. Popcorn match. You need 7 matches on this card. You need a true opener. You need a popcorn match, and then your main events can kind of
a
go
couple
from there.
popcorn matches, just to sell the crowd,
I mean,
so they can get hyped.
a 6-women tag match would have been great. Sammy Gunther could have been
Yeah.
decent because then you could have reduced the time for somebody else. Even if you did Braun and Jay again, it could have gone 8 minutes. But it's a popcorn match. You know who's going to win because the guy just became champ. Like, and there's more stuff.
And Jay's entrance will get you back in, even though it's a popcorn match.
Exactly.
Jay's
Or
entrance
LA
will get
Knights.
you back in.
LA Knight can get you back in too. I
Sammy,
felt bad when they did. Remember Money in the Bank when they opened with Jay, and then poor Andrade was the second entrant into the entrance. And then the third one was LA Knight. Poor Andrade was stuck between Jay Uso and LA Knight. The crowd is like so into both of them.
Who's that? Yay! A wave,
guy.
a legit wave. Now,
I'm a huge fan of Andrade, by the way.
good. He's very good.
Big fan.
Unfortunately, I don't know what they're
he's
doing
great.
with him.
He's got the look. I mean, he looks like a star.
What you're seeing now is what happened the first time around.
Yeah.
It's
Got stuck in.
he's
He's
in
still
the
the
same
speed
spot.
champion.
Huh?
Is he still the speed champion? The illustrious title holder.
I hope not, because how is he fighting for this title when he's a champion already and they're not even acknowledging
Well, it's
it?
a different universe because they don't even acknowledge him as the speed champion on television.
Acknowledge. Anytime we say acknowledge, is acknowledge. Um, so yeah, we have Drew Punk, Hell in a Cell opening. That crowd's gonna be dead afterwards.
Yeah,
Bailey
that's my
Nia
concern.
for the SmackDown title. I see what they're doing here because this is
Yeah.
the inevitable. I'll mark it right here. The inevitable babyface turn for one Tiffany Stratton to cash in and
So
make it a triple threat match and win the title.
I thought there was a chance of that happening, but given how slowly they built Otis and Gable and some of these other things, I think it's going to be another like month at least until that happens.
'Cause I did catch a little bit of SmackDown, I think, this past week. Nia went
I
after
watched the
her.
whole.
I think she put
I think,
her
yeah,
hands.
I watched that show as well. Threatened her in the back.
Yeah, she put her hands around her throat, right? Her neck.
Something like that.
And then you can tell
Yeah,
like she was
something
pissed
along those
about it.
lines.
Looks like
Yeah.
she was pissed about it, and looks like she might actually do some damage because Bailey
I
versus
read.
Nia doesn't. Do
I
it
read
for
that
me.
they're building towards Charlotte and Tiffany at WrestleMania next year, which could be fun. As long as it's not Becky.
Ironically,
As
you
you
say
rub your-
Becky, but it's carbon copy. Another one
Rub
vulturing for another title. This is
Britt Baker
ridiculous.
is going to come back and win the title.
God. Britt Baker will be a bigger pop in this second match for sure. Then Dame and
this
Finn,
stinks.
that feud will be paid
That'll be
off.
fun.
Hopefully, that should be fun.
That poor match has gotten buried in the build of this whole thing because that should be a bigger deal.
Right.
I thought when we were theoretically booking this pay-per-view in our brains a couple months ago, it was going to be a bigger feud between those two, and they've kind of dropped the ball on it.
Well, because Punk and Drew gotten a lot of the shine. Jay's getting that push of getting a title. Liv, Rhea, Dom, that thing's getting well over.
And look, there's only about 40 minutes of television time in between commercial breaks on Raw, so how much can you really fit in there?
And this tells you right now, which is the A side. 5-match card. Obviously, it's going to be an odd number, clearly. But you got 3 Raw storylines versus 2 SmackDowns. And 2 SmackDowns are the 2 titles.
And
But
the
Raw-
3 Raws are more interesting.
Yeah, the 3 Raws, but 2 of them are non-title. Actually, no one has the title in those 2 matches. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
A feud
Well,
that you
Drew-
would care about that doesn't have a title.
Yeah, you don't need titles to make feuds, which is,
Well-
I think, the Drew Punk thing. Like, everybody keeps talking, oh, this would be bigger for a belt. I think it would be stupid with a belt. You don't need a gimmick.
Right.
It's too, you can't, because when you have a
It
belt,
was never for
you're
the
just like,
belt.
I beat you. Now I move on to my next person. No, these two hate each other.
Right. After
They
Dame
should
and
have
Finn-
had, you know what they should have opened with on this pay-per-view? Although it just came out, one of the competitors has a groin injury. I bet you Bronson Reed and, what's his name? Braun Strowman could have had a fun, like, 3-minute opener for this.
just
could have
kill
just,
the
like,
ring.
Yeah, well, I guess they would have had to, like, do it in the back or something, like parking lot brawl or catering
backstage
brawl, or something.
They never did that though.
Yeah, that's true.
Parking lot brawl, actually.
That's been the best. They've been the stars of Raw the last month. Every week they just do a bunch of stupid shit, and I love it. When that show opened, I want the record to show that I said that ring was coming down
You did.
because they didn't have the LED ring posts, and I said that's a dead giveaway that they're gonna implode this ring later.
Right.
Boy, did they live! That was a great match.
The co-main event is Rhea Liv for the title with Dom in a cage. I can't believe the meme came true. You think
Now, how do you
WWE
like-
noticed that and they're like, you know what? Let's pay this off with the meme that started it.
How do you like the sequencing here because both of those two matches are essentially the same feud?
Yes.
Do you like the sequencing there, or would you prefer them to be kind of split up a little bit?
Split up for sure because too much of the same
Yeah.
characters. This is like, all right, what are we doing? Now you're killing
And to
my
be
whole
fair,
vibe.
They can't do it again, but I thought Rhea and Liv had a great opener at SummerSlam.
I was thinking
Which
about
again-
having them again, but no.
Pl- Plays into my point that you need something with fast-paced action, not slow, like nothing is happening yet. Kind of. Oh, did I even take a first touchdown, guy?
Oh,
Fuck. Oh,
Bijan.
fuck me! I left it open. All right, I never did it.
hate to
I
see
had
it.
the odds up, and I never touched it.
And then main event, Cody, Roman teaming up
Ugh.
against Jacob and Solo.
They should have let off this so I could have watched the finish of the Phillies game in peace.
You said main eventing, meaning Dwayne The Rock Johnson returning and ruins Punk's main event yet again. It's hilarious.
Well, did you hear the end of McAfee's interview with Cody Rhodes the other day?
Is the big
Where
guy
McAfee
coming?
said, "Is the big guy coming?" And then Cody said, "Who?"
No, he said
Now
which
this
one?
could be. He said, "Which one?" Now Are we going literal big guy? Because it could be Heyman. My coworker mentioned that to me earlier. He said, "Well, Heyman's big."
I thought it was
It could
Ryback.
be. Oh,
Big
right.
guy.
I call Benny big guy all the time. Oh, I guess Drake London just scored.
What?
Sure did.
I can tell you right now.
Captain Koik to Drake London for 18 yards.
I had him on a ticket, and I said, nah, that dude ain't going to get a touchdown.
Cool. Well, that gives me 6 points in a couple leagues.
Oh, dude, he had like at least 9 yards on the yak. That was crazy.
I don't even enjoy this story anymore. Like, the more you inject people who aren't bloodline into the bloodline thing, I don't care. And I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not saying this because, I'm anti-Solo. In fact, I think he's probably the best worker in that family between him and the Usos.
Fatu, not?
Well, Fatu's on a different. If you count him, isn't he? He's brothers with the Usos, right?
I believe so.
Solo, but Fatu's the star of this. He's the best worker in the match. But
For sure.
like I really think the three of them, Jacob and the Tongans, are more interesting without Solo. Like when they went to NXT and they beat up everybody, they had so much more. The
Aura.
word everybody uses now is aura. They had so much more. Like I was like, yo, these guys are fucking crazy.
Badass.
And then you got Solo just be like, acknowledge me, and you're like, this is not interesting. I thought this, the Bloodline Civil War would be more interesting, but if that's the War Games match, I'm almost not even interested in watching anymore. And it's almost definitely happening now that Solo pins Roman at the end of this match. Because we've already had Jacob pinning Cody, and we've had Jacob beating down Roman, and Cody's not going to eat the pin again, and Roman can't come back and win. So, I think that it's almost definite that Rock comes back.
Does Rock come back with a faction?
I think Rock just interrupts the end of the match and just looks at Cody and Roman, and I think that's how Jacob sneaks in and does the spike. I'm not Jacob.
Solo.
Solo comes in and does the spike.
On who?
His Rock comes back, and
Roman?
I don't think Rock gets physical. Yeah, I don't think Rock gets physical at all. I think his music hits when everybody's laying in the ring, just like how it's been, where the Roman just speared so and so. Cody just took someone through the table on the outside, and now everybody's down. What's going to happen if you smell blah blah blah, etc. And The Rock comes down, just goes face to face with Roman, and like the official's out. And then something happens, either Julio debuts or Zilla debuts or somebody. And then the spike to Roman, and Roman loses. I don't think Rock's physical.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think he comes down and looks at Roman and Cody.
If he does, he'll be way
needs,
out of breath. Audio. 20 minutes, baby. Audio cut right there. When Rob comes back. I think he is on a 20-minute.
I don't know where I cut off there. I must be on some sort of like Discord 20-minute thing.
This is craziness. Well, that's the match. That's the card. Drew Punk, Hell in a Cell. Bailey Nia title match. Damian Priest and Finn Balor.
So who
Rhea
do we...
Liv for Raw title with Dom on a fucking cage. And then Cody Roman teaming up Jacob Solo with potential Dwayne.
So who do we have winning these matches?
I'll go first then.
Sure.
Drew. I
agree.
I think Drew should win this one.
I think Drew needs the win more than Punk does.
For sure. Drew.
Especially if you're going to start the show with it. If he were ending the show. Although if you start the show with the heel winning, it matters more than if you end the show with the heel winning, because then the crowd's going to be kind of upset.
That's true.
But I think it's going to be Drew.
Same. And then the next match, Bailey and Nia, I think Tiffany's going to win this and steal the show, basically. Because, like you said, this is a main event opener. Crowd's going to be popcorn, but the thing is, they know that. They're going to make it a surprise to keep you in it,
To get the Priest spot where Tiffany tries to cash in and it winds up costing her quote-unquote ally. Like she threatens to cash in. She's like, yeah, maybe not. And then Nia loses. I can't see him putting the belt back on Bailey. Maybe they pull a double almost. And Tiffany comes out, thinks about it. Nah. And then Nia looks like she's going to lose, and then she beats Bailey. I think Nia retains. She's a transitional champion for sure. But they're building another babyface in Tiffany. Although I don't know. I'm not that interested in this one.
And then you got Damon Finn. I think Damien's going to win, but I think Finn should win.
Yeah. I
Finn
agree.
should win because he needs it more than Damien.
He should win clean. I'm tired of seeing the heels win with bullshit. There's only one heel in the entire roster that wins clean, and it's Gunther.
Well,
And I guess Braun Breaker, although he may be face now, but
the thing is with that, for some reason, Dame and Rhea, two people, girl and guy, go against an entire faction, yet they still beat the shit out of them.
yeah, I hate it.
What are we doing here? What's the point of the faction?
This next one is the only one where I'm not 100% sure who I think is winning.
It's got to be Rhea.
I think it benefits Rhea to win the Royal Rumble, and that'll be her pursuit of a championship. I think Liv beats her and remains champion, and Rhea keeps pursuing her. Although they've had this going for so long, it would make sense for her to win. But like, then who faces her next? Like, then what do you do? At least Liv, you can kind of set her up with other people on Raw. Rhea, like, who's in her stratosphere on Raw?
But the thing is, what's the point of having Dom up there?
Well, I also don't like that because I think it diverts too much attention from the match itself. These two are really like they're very compatible in the ring.
Right.
I don't love the fact that Dom will be the center of attention for most of this match, or at least for different parts of this match.
Like, I wonder. Or
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it takes too much attention off of, like, it doesn't. This is a feud that doesn't need an extra layer of stipulation. I think you could have done that maybe on Raw and had him in a shark cage. Although it's funny that the custody of Dominic would have been hilarious at SummerSlam. But now that you know he's full fledged with Liv, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a weird thing. If what's her name wins, it's going to be because she cheated. If Rhea wins, because she overcame the odds. I don't love this feud.
I mean, I like the feud. You just don't like the match.
Yeah,
Stipulation.
yeah, that's a better way to say it. Yeah,
And then
better than Viagra on a pole match, like in the documentary.
in the main event, you would have to say it's got to be Jacob and Solo. Solo needs finally a decent win to establish himself as not a dork out there.
I do like Solo, but I think the money match here is Jacob and Roman, and I think that's what they should be building to at some point. I don't really want to see if you and I fly to Vegas, drop a couple hundred on tickets, and we have to watch Solo, Sikoa, and Roman Reigns main event of pay-per-view. I will be highly upset. I'm more likely to go to All In Texas than I am to go to Mania if I have to watch Solo and Roman main event.
On the hard cam?
I'd rather, yeah. I think Jacob and Roman is what they want to build. They just have to find a way to get there without stepping on Solo completely.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. I don't know who's on the ground. Bucks offense was featured. A player's on the ground. It's a receiver. If it's Godwin, I'll be sick.
Well, Schefter will be tweeting about it momentarily, I'm sure.
Fuck off. They went to commercial. It doesn't look good. Oh, don't tell me. Dude, if it's Godwin, I'll be sick. I just traded for him. Now, before we move on to the meat and potatoes of this show, how would you restructure this card?
See, there's no real answer unless you add something in.
No, as is.
Godwin.
Let's just do our best. It's not Godwin, thank God.
It's not Godwin. It is
Bucky Irving, I hope.
I can't tell if it's Evans because I got a bunch of fucking people typing in like Jerusalem language here. I would probably lead off with Finn and Damien.
Yes.
I think that would be my lead off because I think they can work a fast enough style to make it fun for the fans.
Yep.
Then I would probably keep Bailey and Nia in the 2 spot.
Okay.
I think you have then you have back-to-back women's matches, but I think Rhea Liv in the 3-hole works, and then you have the tag match, and then the Hell in a Cell. The problem is because you have man, woman, man, the women almost have to be 2 and 4, and there's no universe where Cody, Roman, Jake, and Solo were going third. So unless you lead off with Bailey and Nia, which I think is entirely possible, especially if you get a cash in, maybe that's my answer. Maybe Bailey and Nia lead off, and then you go Finn Dame, and then you go Rhea Liv, and then you have the tag match and then the Hell in a Cell. But they really screwed themselves here because they could have easily had Braun and Jay as the first match on the card here. Or if Ilya hadn't gotten hurt, maybe Braun, Ilya, or Gunther. So you can figure something out here.
The perfect co-main event would have been a triple threat match for the title that LA Knight holds. Because what are we
Yeah.
doing highlighting Game 6 or Match 6 between Andrade and this guy, Carmelo Hayes, 3-2. I'm like, so are we leading to a Game 7 with these three?
Or if you want to put the Hell in a Cell third from the bottom and
Cameron
keep the tag
Johnson
match
is the
last.
rookie that got hurt.
Sorry to hear that. If you want to keep, let's say they keep the tag match last, because they want the Rock's return to finish the show, you could put the Hell in a Cell 2 matches before that, and then your cooldown match will be that triple threat, and they get 15 minutes to go out there and just do a bunch of high spots, because nobody in the Hell in a Cell or the tag match are doing high spots. So
Right.
it gives you a chance to do like something interesting in the middle, a different style, because Drew and Punk are going to be slow and deliver, and the tag match is going to take forever. It's going to be a 45-minute tag match like WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I also don't love a tag match as a main event, unless it's a huge feud like the Usos and Kevin and Sammy at WrestleMania. I don't love a tag match finishing a show.
For the WrestleMania that we went to.
Yeah, that was at least like that. There was a story there, and it was for something.
A
This
story.
doesn't. It's not like fighting over the Rock. Like they're not doing anything here. Do we get a return in the main event other than the Rock? I guess it would be Jimbo, if anybody.
Heyman?
Yeah, Heyman would make sense. I think they bring him back on SmackDown. By the way, over under 1.5 people bleeding in the Hell in a Cell.
Over.
Oh, they're both gonna do it.
Yeah.
Don't forget, referee Tim White got busted open in a Hell in a Cell once.
I'm sorry. Godwin just caught one inside the 2. Dude, that would have been a nice pickup to get a touchdown from him. Hate to say it, though. Yeah, Tim White, he got busted and then never returned to wrestling. Crazy.
He came back. He came back for one match, and I think he injured his shoulder in that match. It was the Jericho Christian match at WrestleMania 20, and I'm pretty sure he injured his shoulder doing a 3 count.
He probably would have been a rep that if the ring broke, he probably would have fell off and just like never recovered. All right.
Yeah,
Let's move on to
hilarious. By the way, before we jump, so they used that as part of the story when Kevin Nash and Triple H had their Bad Blood Hell in a Cell match in 03. They used that as part of the story. No referee wanted to do the match because Tim White got fucked in the match. Then Triple H hit Hebner with the sledgehammer a month prior, so that's why Foley was a referee.
Jesus Christ.
This is the first time Bad Blood will have a Hell in a Cell match that didn't main event. By the way, so RP.
Unbelievable. Roman and Cody.
What do you want to do? What do
They
you
should have
want to
just kicked off the
Yeah,
show.
it sucks.
They should have just kicked off the show, honestly. Imagine that Roman and Cody's entrance kicking off the show would have had the crowd hyped. Then The Rock comes in, crowd would have been crazy. Then you throw in the Nia match as a buffer. Like
Yeah, popcorn match.
they fucked
I don't
it
know.
up.
Whatever. All right.
All right, let's go. Baseball, meat and potatoes of
Wild
the
card.
episode here.
Yes.
I don't even know where to begin.
Let's
It
start with the
was-
Padres.
Padres. I didn't pay attention to the Padres. I know they were hot.
They're a
They-
wagon right now.
They are
Yeah.
what they're
They-
supposed to be on paper.
So I was a little surprised the Braves went with Smith Shawver in Game 1,
Uh-huh.
and Tatis got them off immediately. I mean, he pitched okay. He only gave up I think 3 runs.
Evans
But,
touchdown.
Let's go. That hopefully from Baker.
Yeah, it better be from.
Okay, beautiful.
God,
Smith Shawver I thought pitched okay, but I unless Fried had a certain thing with his rest, I would have gone Fried 1-on-1 with Michael King, who by the way, amazing performance by Michael King Game 1. What do you have? 12 strikeouts. Second most
something unreal.
strikeouts in it. Second most in a playoff game by a Padres pitcher. Second only to my boy Kevin Brown, who belongs in the Hall of Fame. Amazing. His slider was moving unlike any slider I think I've ever seen other than Adam Ottavino's. And he was keeping Braves guys off balance. He was limiting damage. He didn't give up really any base runners. I thought he was great. Kyle Higashioka, solo home run. I said jokingly a few days ago when that happened, if the Yankees don't make it to the World Series, really if the Yankees don't win the World Series, and and Juan Soto leaves, Padres unequivocally won that trade. Michael King is
Yeah.
a stud, and Higashioka had a really good year for them. He's a good defensive player, and he's hitting home runs. I think he has more extra base hits than singles in the playoffs in his career. And he stabilized the pitching staff, especially because Campusano really didn't take a step forward. Nola kind of fizzled out for them. They needed a good catcher.
yeah.
They figured out. They brought in Elias Diaz. He hasn't really played well. but and Machado, amazing season on him. The Braves, obviously, one of these two, the Braves or Mets, are going to hit a wall after playing the doubleheader on Monday and then immediately having to travel. That's why I think that the Mets had no interest in winning Game 2 of that doubleheader because they would rather take a 2-hour plane to Milwaukee than fly cross country and take on the Padres.
Yeah.
So this was always a disaster and a cauldron waiting to pop. I would love to dance on the Braves' grave, but they really were in an impossible situation here.
Yeah. I mean, they limped.
And they got smoked yesterday until they started to come back toward the end, but they were down 5-1 at one point.
I mean, you got to. Actually, no. I was going to say you got to feel for the Braves fans, but fuck them. They're fair weather fans.
Yeah, they're all racist anyway.
Right. But imagine juggernaut for 2 straight years, winning the division by a country mile. You get to the postseason, you get smacked by the obnoxious Philly fans and whatnot. you backdoor into the playoffs, and you get bitch slapped across the face in LA to go all the way back to Atlanta and enjoy the rest of your vacation. Fuck the Braves. Next.
The Braves, by the way,
yeah,
have lost 6 consecutive games when facing elimination.
2 of them against the Phillies.
Yeah. So I know that might not make sense on the surface because they haven't played 6 playoff series since the 2021 World Series, but that run, they were never facing elimination during that run. They have never forced another game in a series when facing elimination in their last 6.
Right. Now, I want to skip this next team. Royals. Sure. Oh, baby.
How about the Kansas City Royals? That team, by the way.
I didn't even know they were good.
They are phenomenal. When they signed Will Smith, I jokingly said they're going to the World Series. Will Smith last year, Texas Ranger. The previous year, he was, what's it called? He was an Astro. Oh. The year before that, a Brave. If he goes to the World Series, he'll be there 4 straight years, 4 different teams.
Oh, Jesus. He's Robert Horry?
Yeah, he's Robert Horry. He's Eric Hinsky. He's LaShawn McCoy. Pick a guy that went to the World Series or the championship with different teams.
That's your man right there.
They got outstanding pitching in Game 1 from Cole Reagans. 80 pitches in 6 innings. He is up there with Skubal, like the future of the AL pitching-wise. He is a stud. And they got a really good performance out of Seth Lugo yesterday. It's tough to tell with Kansas City if it's more. I made this point a few weeks ago with like the Vikings and Florida State. It's tough to tell if it's them or if it's just the Orioles wetting their pants again in the playoffs because I sent you those stats yesterday. Gunnar was 0 for 7 in this series. Adley was, I think, 0 for 6. Yeah, I sent it to you. Yeah, so Gunnar 0 for 7, 4 strikeouts. Adley 1 for 8, 2 strikeouts, including with runners on in I believe the 8th inning. Took a fastball right down the middle, didn't swing at it.
Really?
Ryan Mountcastle 0 for 7. Anthony Santander 1 for 8. Jordan Westberg 1 for 6. Colton Cowser 1 for 7. The only run they scored this series was out of a guy who they didn't even know that was going to start in these games was Cedric Mullins. He was in there for his defense because his bat has kind of cooled off. And naturally, he's the only guy that produces a run. So,
baseball. And
they got good pitching too. I mean, and not to be outshined, I thought Eflin pitched well yesterday. I thought their bullpen pitched well, and Burns threw about as well as he could on Wednesday or on Tuesday. I'm sorry.
Dominguez looked pretty good too.
Dominguez pitched well. Soto was okay. Cano pitched really well for them. Dan Coulombe pitched well for them. I think Kimbrel's out. He's eating popcorn in a press box somewhere, but their pitching was good. They only gave up 3 runs in the series. They lost 2-1 and they lost 1-0. So I don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to rain on his performance because he had a phenomenal Game 1. Can't take anything away from him, but it comes with a little asterisk because this team was historically bad last year in the postseason. Granted, you think first year guys, wide eyes, they partied too hard. They didn't know what to expect in the postseason. Well, you're back at it again, full season. You get back here, you wait, and you get smoked at home. And 2 things. I want you to, if you can, the lowest attendance, you said?
Yeah. Lowest attendance ever for a playoff game at Camden Yards. The get-in price was $16. So the get-in price for all these games, aside from San Diego, was in the teens. You could get into...
Now, is that crazy? Am I crazy?
It is crazy because could you imagine going to a Phillies game for $16 in the playoffs? I know in the wild card round it's a little bit
down 0-1. Yeah, I'm going.
Pretty sad.
What do we make of that?
Yeah, I don't get it. Now, in fairness, the Royals are gonna have to hit if they want to beat.
My
They
point
got
is
Detroit coming up, right? Or they got
Ooh,
is the Royals against Cleveland or Detroit coming up?
Cleveland. No, wait.
Cleveland. They're
No, no,
they're
no.
gonna have to hit. They're gonna have to hit against
No, no,
Cleveland.
no, no.
Oh no,
You got
Kansas City's going to New York. Yeah, they're going
yeah.
to New York. By the way, New York, all of their hitters have horrible numbers against Reagans and Lugo, which is amazing, and I'm excited to see them potentially
Cinema
flame out.
in the
Could you
in
imagine?
the porch in right field. Have your glove ready, baby. I'm talking about.
I
This
am
is gonna
making.
be
I'm going to
awesome.
make a prediction right now. So that game, I believe, game one with the Yankees and Royals is at 6 something on Saturday.
Is it?
The Royals hit a home run in the first inning off Garrett Cole. I don't know if it's going to be Massey, Witt, Pasquantino. I think he's a Bronx guy. Um, Pasquantino would be the leader in the clubhouse. By the way, that guy's playing with a fractured thumb, and he said the only thing that hurts is the vibration if he hits a foul ball.
Oh, I
That
heard
poor,
that.
he had a great game yesterday. He was a little slow to get out of the box in game one, but yesterday he was on base a few times.
I don't want
I think the
to.
Royals. There's a chance the Royals steal game one of the Bronx, especially if Reagans is ready because he'll have what Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Pitching on 3 days rest, which is not ideal, but he didn't throw that many pitches game one. He only threw 80 pitches and went 6 innings, so
If that's the
possible.
case, that's the case. This series is going to be heavily watched. Eyes are going to be watching Soto's body language, everything, because the talk is he might be leaving, might be one and done in New York. Does he really want to be a Yankee? We'll see how his performance. He might perform and still leave, right? Now,
Maybe
I don't want to
should
rain on
do
your
some
parade.
research.
Don't want to rain on your parade for that. If it is the 6 o'clock window on Saturday, Bad Blood gets a special early time of 6 p.m.
Shit. That match will be in the ring while that game starts. So,
So you're
I will
gonna
have to
have.
watch on my phone.
I was just gonna say you're gonna have the Phillies on the left, Bad Blood on the right, and then
A laptop with the Yankees,
Screencast.
and then oh my god. By the way, it's Michael Wacha game one for the Royals, and the Yankees have bad numbers off him too.
Perry's probably going through it. Love to see
boy.
it. Now, last thing,
yeah.
you sent me this. In the last 20 years, the Orioles,
Oof.
2 wins, 2 playoff game wins. I think that's what it is, right? Oh, playoff series. I think. 2014 and 2012, the only time
They won the wild card game in I think 14 and 12. They won that game against Detroit when Delman Young had the 3-run double. So let me read this for you.
Go for it.
The Yankees against Michael Wacha. Aaron Judge 1 for 18 with 11 strikeouts. Gleyber
What?
Torres 1 for 16. Yeah. Gleyber Torres 1 for 16. Giancarlo Stanton 4 for 17 with a home run. Alex Verdugo 3 for 11. Anthony Rizzo, very good success off Wacha, 22 for 56. Now, granted, that's back when Wacha and he were in the
Same
National
division.
League Central when he was a Cub and Wacha was a Cardinal. That's pre-concussion Rizzo for what it's worth. And then let me look up Cole Reagans real quick. I have his numbers here.
Pre-concussion is crazy.
Yankees
work.
against Reagans. Sorry, god damn it. Efforting. Lost it. Coming back. And it's gone. Just take my word for it. They stink.
Well, Orioles, good season again, but no bueno.
Yeah.
Now, this one, the Cinderella story that is the Detroit Tigers.
How about the Motown whatevers? Let me read you a stat real quick.
Yeah.
Tigers are the first team in the 162 game era of of Major League Baseball. First team ever to make the playoffs without any of these, not just like each of them. They had no players with 150 hits,
Oh, I remember this, yes.
which even like worst teams in baseball have that. No player had 75 RBIs or more. No player had 25 or more home runs, and no player had 25 or more stolen bases. A full team of platoon guys. Their best players, Matt Vierling. They have Kerry Carpenter.
Right.
They have Riley Green, Parker Meadows. Like, this team is probably a bunch of names that most people haven't heard. And honestly, most people who play fantasy baseball probably haven't heard because not too many of these guys are like playable. The catcher they got was in the Verlander deal. They traded their number 1 starter at the deadline. They traded Jack Flaherty, their number 2 starter at the deadline, Jack Flaherty.
Really?
And they got a defensive shortstop from the Dodgers. They sold at the deadline. They traded Andrew Chafin, a really good left-handed reliever, and they had at one point this season, according to Fangraphs, a .2 percentage to get into the playoffs. They're the
I,
first team to ever make the playoffs and win a round. Who at one point during the regular season were 10 games out of the playoff spot.
there's someone. There has to be someone out there. I knew it. Plus 25,000. I knew it. They were gonna make the postseason. Did you see the dude who got interviewed? Who was in the stands?
Who?
Some.
Oh, the fan that went on the field took the picture with him.
I don't know. I don't know. I just saw a clip. There's a fan like, I knew it. I had a premonition. I was in a game in April, and then all of a sudden, Hinsky throws sunflower seeds or some. He throws something at me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Something happened with they threw sunflower seeds at the manager, right?
Something like that.
It
And
was
it's
at
like,
it was at Hinch, yeah.
it was premonition. This seed is in the fall. October's in the fall. I knew it then. They're going to the postseason. And I'm like, what?
They should plant the seed somewhere at the ballpark. Good for
He
those
had
guys.
it. He kept it.
Yeah, he kept it. It was Hinch, I think, that the seed at him. By the way, AJ Hinch beating the Astros, potentially
Former
ending
team?
their quote unquote dynasty. Yeah. Now they made it sound like the Astros like unceremoniously fired him. He was removed from power because of the cheating scandal. It's not like they fired him because they thought he was dope.
Right, right.
So Jess Mendoza, I like her commentary a lot. Let's not pretending that they got rid of him because they didn't like him. He beat the team that got rid of him. No, MLB removed him because he was being an asshole. So, and he was probably aware of the cheating. So let's be fair for a second. But AJ Hinch, I'll tell you what, I love his quote. He said, "Game 1 is going to be Scooble. Game 2 and Game 3 are going to be chaos," and they were chaos. They got 6 innings out of Scooble Game 1.
Did you?
Excuse me, I got the hiccups.
Correct me if
And
I'm
then
wrong.
yeah.
Sorry, no, go. Keep going.
I was gonna say, so Game 1 they got 6 innings out of Scooble. They go 4 guys after him, including Tyler Holton, who opened Game 2 for them, who is a stud. If you've ever heard of this guy, he is a fucking stud. Jackson Jobe, 21 years old. So they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in Game 2, including Jackson Jobe, who almost blew the game for them. None of the other guys gave up a run.
You have Bucky
Holton,
Irving?
Hannafy, Herder, Brisky. What's that?
Do you have Bucky Irving starting?
I didn't start him. No.
Dude. Don't look at your
Popping off.
bench. Don't look at your bench.
Why did he score?
He had a big run, so I think he's the feature back from now on. But yeah,
16
continue.
yards.
Continue.
But yeah, I mean, look, this is what they're going to do. They're going to have to. It doesn't work in the regular season, which is
Yeah, it
why
never does.
which is why the Giants have had trouble the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, the two started. 2 years ago they had Alex Wood and what's his name, Logan Webb, and then they just opened the rest. It can work in a short series. Look what the Diamondbacks did last year to the Phillies. You can open and bullpen your way through a playoff game if you have a horse at the top of the rotation. You get 6 innings or 7 innings out of Scoople. You're only asking for 9 outs out of the bullpen. That's 3 guys. Game 2 and Game 3, you can be fresh and get more out of your guys. And they do have decent pitching. They have Maeda, they have Casey Mize. Like, they have guys that can go multiple innings for them. But look, they're going to go into now. They have to take on. They're taking on Cleveland, right? I
Yes, sir.
kind of like their staff up against Cleveland's. Cleveland's offense might be better, but considering Bieber's out, Bibby's been not as good as he was prior. They're leaning heavily on Lively and these other guys. I kind of like Detroit's pitching against theirs, and in the postseason, pitching and home runs win.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that a division game?
It is. You got 3 teams from the AL Central in the playoffs still.
Those division games are absolute chaos in itself.
Game
In
1, we
itself.
have no announced pitcher yet for Detroit. That's probably because they're going to open with somebody. I would assume it might be Holton again, honestly. And then Saturday, I believe, who we got starting for the Guards.
I wouldn't question.
Guardians are
anything
going
he
with.
does.
No, it's probably no. Tanner Bybee's going to start for the Guardians. Wheeler is confirmed for the Phillies.
Yes, he is.
Waka versus Cole, and then Dylan Cease versus Yamamoto in the NL. So
That should be fun.
that'll be fun. Yeah.
Um,
See, the Padres are not allowing Dodgers fans to buy tickets. You have to live in San Diego in order to buy tickets to the Padres home games.
ain't gonna stop the train that is the Dodgers.
No.
Plus,
Yeah.
plus it's Shohei Ohtani, so
Yeah, it's 2.5 hour drive. I made it. I almost fell asleep during the drive. But Mets Brewers currently in Game 3. There have only been here. Ready for some stats? Numbers usually bore people, but I don't care because it's baseball. That's all. So in these 3-game wildcard series, 2022, the first year that they did it in COVID year 2020, because previous to that they did the 1-game wildcard. 2020, I'm going to kind of throw away because there were no fans.
sure.
22, 4 wildcard series, 3 of the road teams won their series. Two of them were sweeps. Philly swept the Cardinals. San Diego won in 3 games against the Mets. Seattle swept Toronto. Cleveland was the only outlier. They swept Tampa at home. 2023, they split. Philly and Minnesota swept at home. Texas, Arizona were the road teams. They swept. This year, 2 road teams, Kansas City and Detroit, swept on the road. San Diego sweeps at home. There's a chance that Milwaukee wins tonight. They would be the first team to lose game 1 and then win the next 2. Since the wild card expanded, if you remember back in the day from 95 to 2011, it was 3 division teams, and then the wild card just got in. They expanded the 1-game wild card in 2012. The lower seeded team has advanced 19 out of 37 times,
Love to hear it.
and higher seed has advanced 18 times. So if Milwaukee wins tonight, it'll be 19-19 in these wild card games / series. In the single game wild card, which was 2012 to 2019, and then again in 21, the higher seed won 9 times, the lower seed won 9 times. In these wild card series, if you include 2020, the higher seed has now won 10 of 19 series. So if the Mets win this series, we'll tie 10-10 in terms of how many times the lower seeded team has won and the higher seed. There have only been 4 series that have gone to 3 games, and the only 2 home teams that have won Game 3 were during the COVID year when there were no fans. So the only Game 3 that was played in front of fans, the road team won, which was San Diego in New York a couple years ago. So the Mets were the play tonight, but the Mets were the only team to lose a Game 3 with fans. So
Of
good
course,
luck.
it would be the Mets.
What are we excited / upset about?
Oh, the recent text from your wife in the group chat, of course. Brother, I thought you had a bigger dilemma on Saturday.
Yeah, so
I thought she got the email. I was about to say, Rob, what are you going to do?
oh god, could you imagine I have to watch Family on the drive there? Or I guess on the drive home.
Oh, no. That's wild. I did want to say one thing, 2 things. Is the Tigers the organization that has one starting pitcher and then they're just relying on everybody else?
It's
For the
Scooble and
postseason?
Chaos.
That's
Yep.
what it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's Scooble and Professor Chaos from South Park.
And second thing is, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, it's somehow sweet for Michael Kay to be on the call for the Astros' demise.
Did you enjoy him having a seizure trying to pronounce the name of Banez? He goes,
I haven't
it's a bases clearing double for Banez.
Oh my goodness,
There's something special about Michael K. I'm
He's
obviously
great.
a huge fan.
he's great.
Some people hate him. He's got a big head, literally.
Is he?
There's something cool about him. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, how does he get those? Is he like selected? Does he have the credentials?
Oh, for the playoffs?
yeah.
so
Since
he
he's
is-
primarily
he-
Yankees voice, but
So he does have, he is a somehow, so he works for 98.7 is an ESPN station in New York, which is what his radio show is. He's also, nobody watches it, but he has the K-Rod cast with A-Rod every couple Sundays for Sunday Night Baseball. It's like a Manning cast type deal. So that's, I think, how they got him.
he was
Sean
great.
McDonough was, I like him. I like him on national games because there's something cool about hearing him do the Sia for somebody that isn't a Yankee.
Right.
Because it's either, like he goes his balls to the walls like Sia for the Yankee guy or
Right.
Sia for someone that's not a Yankee. So when he does these games, like it was really cool hearing him do it for Harper a couple of years ago. And then last year, Royce Lewis had a couple home runs for Minnesota that he did. I like there's something cool about a good regional announcer doing a national game. Like a little while back, Zumoff, I think, did an NBA TV game during the
Did he?
playoffs. And the Flyers announcer, Jim Jackson, had the St. Louis, Minnesota series on TNT a couple years ago. Or Boog Sciambi, who's doing the game tonight for New York and Milwaukee. He's the Cubs guy. Actually grew up a Phillies fan. Yeah, he grew up a Phillies fan. He's the MLB The Show voice.
you're
McDonough,
right.
I believe, McDonough does radio for the Red Sox here and there. He also does the NHL and does college football. And then the other announcer who's the fourth? I think Carl Ravish, whatever. But Dave Fleming, who did a series 2 years ago, he did I believe, the Toronto-Seattle series. He is one of the voices for the Giants. Like, I like these regional guys getting a chance to showcase what they can do nationally. And Kay, I think, is a recognizable voice. They gave him probably the second most interesting series, I guess, or probably the third most interesting series.
The Tigers?
Like Tigers, but it's Houston. Like it's the team that everybody wants to beat. and they gave K that series. The Phillies Cardinals, I thought
A
arguably was the most
Yankee
interesting series a couple
regional
years ago.
broadcast.
Isn't it funny that
I
you're
love
talking
it.
about the Phillies who hit a billion home runs a couple years ago, the Yankees who hit home runs left and right, the Red Sox in 21. The team that eliminates Houston before they get to the ALCS is the Detroit Tigers with no good players on the team. Like
Unreal.
the this is the first time since the Obama administration, I believe,
Yeah.
that the
Astros aren't in. It's no bueno, baby. I think this man does have a 20-minute timer. There's something wrong here.
I was before so rudely interrupted by God.
Jesus.
The Astros are turning into like the ship of Theseus, where 15, it was Altuve, Correa. It was before Bregman. They before Brantley. Over time, like Correa's gone. Brantley, I don't even know if he's playing anymore. I think he might be retired. Verlander's a shell of his former self. Cole's gone. McCullers, if he ever going to pitch again. Rasmus is gone. Rex gone now. Bregman might be gone. That could have been his last game as an Astro. Altuve's trying to leverage them to re-sign him, but it's an analytical organization. You want to sign a 32-year-old third baseman whose defense is rapidly declining, who's right-handed power. Like, I think he's going to be on a different team next year.
Did you see the nonchalant throw to first?
Yeah, the guy beat it out, right?
Should have been an easy out. And it turned into just hell, basically.
Yeah, this was a weird Astro year because obviously Dusty retiring. They have Joe Espada, who a lot of people like, but their pitching, Framber was good, but I believe Christian Javier got Tommy John. Garcia, was he hurt as well? They didn't get a whole lot out of Hader. Presley wasn't great. Bullpen was okay. They brought Neris back when the Cubs DFA'd him, but I don't know, they had a backup catcher playing first base. Jose Abreu didn't work out for them. There's a lot going against them going into this series, and they needed, stud starting pitching. They really didn't get. Hunter Brown was pretty good for them, but they needed a little bit more, and they didn't hit the long ball. Alvarez was also hurt. They had a lot going against them here.
I mean, rest in peace. Poor little one out there for the Astros. Buck 'em.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah,
But
piss on that grave.
tremendous run since moving to the AL.
Yeah.
Tremendous run. So
Have to give them credit where it's due.
right.
My friend Fireman Joe asked me how the game was, and apparently he was talking about the baseball one. I said London and Evans scored a touchdown. I said no, it's not about the baseball game.
All right, next one. Mets Brewers obviously is in motion. I think it's the bottom of the 7th. Still scoreless.
Yeah,
A total
middle
of
the
6
seventh inning
hits.
right now.
2 for the Mets, 4 for the home team, and due up in the bottom of the 7th. Hoskins, Frelick, Ortiz. 6, 7, 8. This could be the inning.
Executive decision here. Turn the volume off and watch the game while we're doing this, because this is where it gets interesting. Battle of the bullpens, and to be honest with you, I don't know whose bullpen is stronger. On paper, it's the Brewers, but the Mets have been pitching really well lately.
Quintana's still in it.
Quintana's been shoving. He has been terrific. I told you he pitched well against the Phillies 2 years ago in the playoffs.
He's on 94
It was
pitches right now.
not out of the question that he would pitch well tonight.
Here's the thing.
I liked him.
One player for the Mets has both hits.
Lindor.
The leadoff.
He
yes.
is the engine that makes the team go.
I don't know. He got 2 hits, and they can't do nothing after that.
So, let's jump into a quick divisional round preview.
Yes,
Royals
so-
and Yankees. Why are they showing a Phillies season recap?
What?
Are you watching this game?
No.
Are you watching the Mets game?
No.
They're showing a Phillies season recap. Zach Wheeler, 11 straight starts with 6 innings.
Because whoever wins this game goes to Philly. So it's just
5th
fun.
highest scoring team in Major League Baseball, best home record in baseball. I guess they're talking about where these two teams have to go. Feels like we're setting up for Philly's demise, but
Yes.
we got Royals and Yankees. A ton of pressure on the Yankees. Let me ask you this: who has the most pressure? So Royals, Yankees, Tigers, Guards, Padres, Dodgers, and then the Phillies get the winner of this game. Who has the most pressure among bye teams to succeed this year in the playoffs? Yankees, Dodgers, Guardians, or Phillies?
It's got to be 1A, 1B. I would say you can't go
They
wrong
took
with
Quintana
either.
out.
Can't go
Jose
wrong with
Puto is
either.
taking over on the mound.
Really? Okay. So this is the battle of
Quintana's
bullpens
out.
now. All right. I would say
Uh,
Yankees because
are they
they're
pinch hit
expected
for
to win.
Hoskins?
Dude, don't do that.
I think they pinch hit for Hoskins.
Jesus Christ. The Mets
Yeah,
and the
Jake Bowers pinch hitting for Reese Hoskins here.
uh, we'll make this easy. Royals, Yankees, Tigers, Guardians, Padres, Dodgers, Mets, Phillies on Saturday. That right there is disrespectful. The Mets killer. You bench him, it's over. It's over.
It's okay.
They're
Jake Bowers is a ball into the dugout. So I think the most pressure, as much pressure as we want to put on the Dodgers because of their massive payroll, I think if they don't succeed this year, there's no doubt in my mind they'll probably be back next year. This Yankees team, they went all in. They get Soto. May never get another season like this from Judge again. I know we said that 2 years ago, but Judge with his health and everything, they might not get that Judge again.
It's a
Garrett
fat
Cole, I know,
contract.
missed some time. Rodon pitched pretty well for them. Austin Wells hit well for them this year. Glaber could be gone after the season. Soto could be gone after the season. Verdugo will probably be gone. I don't know if you get this core back again. Like, whereas the Phillies, I think there's more pressure on them than there is the Dodgers because of the fact of how far they've gotten the last 2 years. At least the Dodgers, if they fizzle out, you're like, well, fuck the Dodgers, we're going to fizzle out anyway.
Right.
The Yankees, if they, oh my God, Jake Bowers just hit a fucking home run. So they pull the pitcher, Quintana, kabang. Let me hear the call.
I just ate my words. there, boys.
Second deck. What a fucking moment.
The
Uh,
Brewers, Phillies on Saturday. Let's go.
the revenge for '08 on deck.
Jesus.
That was only 80 miles an hour off the bat.
Jesus.
Second deck home run for Jake Bowers, former Yankee, by the way.
This game is
What
just
a moment.
wild. I wish I could watch. I don't have the TV up here for it. Oh,
Wow. Okay. So, but
Wow.
yeah, I think that there's a lot of pressure on the Phillies because even though they'll theoretically they will have the same team next year. There's a chance maybe somebody moves in the offseason. Maybe they won't get the same production from some of these guys, but chances are they will have the same team next year. This Yankees team, there's no question. Hoskins, end of the dugout, ready to fucking kiss this guy in the mouth. What a teammate. You pinch hit for me, you hit a bomb. I'm still going to hug you. I'm thrilled. Also, fuck the Mets. That was a changeup right down the middle. He left that up. That Bowers absolutely oh my goodness.
because I was
He
gonna say
obliterated that thing.
it's
but yeah.
a 1A 1B Yankees Phillies for the same reasons.
Yep.
I mean,
I
has
kind
to
of
be.
agree. Yeah, the Phillies because of how far they've gone the last few years, but the Yankees because of the not that they won't be able to spend money, but what will they look like next year?
Right.
Because oh my God, we got back to back. Sal Frelick. Might want to move
See
that win
ya.
probability a little bit higher on ESPN.
Like I said,
They should have left
Brewers,
in what's his
Phillies
name?
in the Saturday. I'm just Quintana should have.
107 off the bat.
Do we go
I
back to
thought
back to back?
I thought it was a replay of the last one, then I realized it wasn't.
Touchdown for the Falcons. Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
2 passing touchdowns. Mooney got the
Quick.
second one there.
Mooney, the fantasy darling a few years back.
Right.
All right, let's. You want to jump into the NFL picks, I guess, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let me grab a pen so I can write down my TTPs. I have not looked at the spreads, so we will be doing this live.
Do it live. We'll do it live. I'll write it. All right, let's go.
What it's worth, the guy batting now for Milwaukee is one of the players they got in the Corbin Burns deal.
By the way,
The Brewers have scored more runs this inning than the Orioles did the entire series.
man, taking a shot at the Orioles.
I saw a tweet earlier. It said, congratulations to the Orioles on their postseason run. No, literally, they scored 1 run.
That's just
They didn't go
mean-spirited.
on a run. They scored a run.
That's crazy.
Why are you wearing a hoodie, dude? You're indoors. I'm in it too.
For
I
those
guess.
looking, this is a shirt with a hoodie on it.
No, not you. I'm talking about the fan in the front row. Looks like my uncle.
Well, he's probably a little cold. A little cold
a little
indoors.
cold, little nipply in there.
Yeah, the AC is a little turned up on that one.
Oh, 97. They brought in Jose Buto, who's been fantastic for them this year, and he promptly gives up ding dongs to Bowers and Frelick.
This Beyonce Levi's commercial is craziness.
I don't watch commercials.
The big guy just texted me. I look forward
Big guy?
to when my brother
Rock?
texts me.
Oh, Oh, I thought you meant the Rock. Drake London being evaluated for
Just
concussion.
give me a heart.
There you go.
Did he? Jesus. At least he got
Did he?
someone's. No, the concussion. You said? Wow, I missed it. I missed it.
No, you said did he?
Oh Jesus.
This is Turn Pod After Dark here. All right.
Baby boy.
Going into this game, you and I both agreed off air that we thought the Falcons were going to win. Do we still stand by that?
No. I had
you
Tampa.
fuck me.
I
All
had
right, I'll
Tampa.
stand by what I said. It wasn't being recorded, but I said this feels like an Atlanta win, so I will go with the Falcons here.
All right, perfect. I already had it on the sheet.
Oh, that's a
I'll
great
update the
play.
sheet.
I thought we got a third one. I was like, wait, why did this guy go to the other side of the plate? Well, back-to-back second deckers too.
Got a picture. I'll see this later.
Dylan just texted me. His entire team is already injured in our fantasy league, and he has Drake London, so he just lost another player.
Is Dylan the one
looks
that
like we're
you
going-
guys clowned for having bad draft?
Yes.
I don't
yes.
think I met him, right?
No, he's a nice kid.
No, have I met him?
No, you haven't. He I don't think so. Nah, he's never been at any of the events.
Okay.
He's a Wolves alumnus. Nice kid.
Nice kid. Never met him.
All right. Nice kid. All right. We do have a London game.
London, eh?
The Jets and the Vikings were sending the Sam Darnold Bowl to London, England. Is this in Wembley?
No, this is
Tottenham
Tottenham Hotspurs. Yes.
Hotspur. Okay.
I'm going Vikings.
A lot going on. I love the Vikings this year. I don't love FanDuel making me log in 6 times just to see the
Oh,
spreads.
Drake London is arguing with the concussion guy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's like, what the? He's like, what the f? He's just shaking his head
I
and
love the
walked away.
idea. All right, so the Vikings are laying 2.5 in that game. The over-under is 40.5. I will go Vikings as well. I like the Vikings there. Rodgers is going to find some way to complain about having to fly to fucking London
You said 2.5.
and bitch about it on McAfee next week. Yeah, 2.5 for the Vikes. Next up,
Oh,
we
you
got
have the Vikings, right?
I got Vikings, yeah.
My bad.
The DJ
Carolina.
Moore Bowl.
Oofa.
Carolina. Bears are only minus 3.5 at home. This is a Panther line.
I feel like Andy Dalton has played for the Chicago Bears.
If he hasn't, he probably will at some point. I like the Panthers here. 3.5 is a Panther line. I'm not sure why it's only 3.5 when the Bears just won a game against the Rams and the Panthers just dropped a game against the Bengals.
I can see them going into Chicago.
Yeah, I can see them winning this game.
Everybody like buttoned up like it's cold as hell, and they go in.
They go
there.
to the concrete beach. See ya, Punk. See ya, Punk. You think the Bears are gonna lay down and die after Punk loses to Drew and Hell in a Cell? I agree. I think they will. I think the Panthers are gonna win this game.
Give me Chicago.
Oh my goodness! Look who's pitching for the Mets.
Syndergaard? Oh, they should have put him in the moment. He gave up the home run.
You know
him
what's
out.
funny is there's actually Contreras on Milwaukee uses that as his walkout music.
Otten. I did hear that, and I think they mentioned
Yeah.
on air like, doesn't he
Oh,
have
yeah.
that copyrighted? Like no one can
They
use
said,
it?
yeah, they said, doesn't he have the rights to that? So I'm
Yeah.
like, no, he just fucking played it for him once. All right, Ravens and Bengals. This is Ravens minus 2.5 on the road.
Oh, this
Typical
is too easy.
AFC North game.
This should be a no-brainer. Should be.
Yeah,
Baltimore?
should be a no-brainer. Should be a no-brainer, but I don't know. 2.5 screams Bengal.
Thanks
line.
for
I
your
don't know.
support and help and prayers.
Let's go. Let's
Send
go.
me, like,
Let down
7
spot the
text
Ravens.
messages.
I'll go Cincinnati.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, of all people, I'm believing in Joe Burrow.
And me not believing.
Yeah. All right, now we have this game will be played on Mars. Dolphins and Patriots. Actually, you can't travel to Mars with a concussion, so I don't know if Tua's gonna be able to go. But Patriots are actually favored in this game, minus 1.5.
I can see because the quarterback play sucks for Miami.
Yeah, say less. I respectfully may
2.
take the Pats.
2 touchdowns. Mike Evans.
He just 2-yard touchdown, right?
Yes. If it was Godwin, I would have been like, kiss.
Churio just still second, or Terang just still second. Got a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Dude, I wish I could see this game.
Dolphins, Pats. Pats laying 1.5 at home. This
Give
is
me
turning-
Miami.
spiraling into chaos as we speak. I got New England.
Okay.
This game,
This is interesting.
a pretty sneaky, interesting game. Yeah, Cleveland and Washington.
At
Washington
home.
-3. Oh, 23-yard pass. Yeah, Washington -3 at home. This is an interesting game. First home game in a few weeks for them.
Now,
I love that she sent that text at 9:11.
where's Castellanos? We had a couple
It's a
deaths.
shame the Phillies. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a shame the Phillies didn't play the day after Pete Rose died.
I was just gonna say,
Oh,
yo,
oh.
Cassie would have hammered one.
No, got there. We got one. Browns Commandos. So the Commandos have been really good this year. Is this a letdown spot? The Browns do still have a good defense.
Miles Garrett's
Watson
still there.
still not playing. Yeah, he's still not playing well though.
I saw a video.
Is this a letdown spot for the Commanders though?
It sure is. It looks like it.
Feels like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
I saw a video. It's like you gotta let some of these guys do what they do best. Like Deshaun, give him his happy innings. He'll be right back to form. Tiger Woods, let him do what he has to do.
Oh,
He goes
Jesus
back to
Christ.
form.
Tell me that was Dan Orlovsky that said it. 'Cause
No,
sure
no, no.
feels
It was like
it's
a
something.
comedian
Oh, okay.
who does like highlights and stuff.
Oh, okay. Bob Maneri probably.
Nah, it's his name's Chiseled Adonis. I think I sent a couple videos. He
Okay.
does these like Chris Berman primetime highlights. He does like all the games,
Oh, yeah.
but he does like pop culture
Fastest.
references in all of them.
Fastest 3 minutes. Who do you like in that game? Browns or Commanders?
One last thing, because he does like
Yeah.
video. Anytime Deshaun Watson comes up, it's the Predator from Alien and the Predator with the Deshaun Watson jersey with women around him, with the audio of Vince McMahon says, "Come out, you rapist!" Every time, your audio, you mother. Yo, we're gonna get this audio fixed. I swear to you.
I'm just gonna have a fucking blowhorn or whatever.
We should just have a 20-minute podcast.
I agree. In the Vince documentary, he goes, "There was no rape. Come on, you're a rapist. There was no stabbing or anything.
did
There were
him
no
wrong."
guns." And they show Pillman with the gun. Everything he said, they fact checked him on the spot.
Yes. That's
Feed
awesome.
just cut out. Well, it's
Um,
not my mic; it's my internet because I just lost my feed.
well, you want to just do rapid fire?
Yeah, Browns Commandos. Are you like?
Washington.
I'll go with the same. Colts Jags. Jags -2.5 at home.
Give me Flacco.
I'm gonna go Jags. Bills and Texans. The Diggs returning to Houston game. Bills are favored by 1.5 on the road.
Pass.
So
I want
it's
you
a
to go
tough one,
first.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we said rapid
Uh,
fire, but this isn't helping right now. This is the last 1 o'clock game, by the way. This has to be the Romo game.
Find that out for you. I just lost my feed for the baseball game, but
Ah.
Bills Texans.
It's
it
2
feels
men
like
on
a
right
Romo
now.
game.
Edwin Diaz. It's a 1-2 count. He just threw a strike. He was two balls.
Perkins.
Contreras.
I'm gonna go Bills. I think it's a bounce back for them after losing to the Ravens last week in
All
a
right,
pretty convincing way.
I'll go Houston. All right.
Now we have the
Raiders.
Devontae Adams-less Raiders and the Broncos. The Bo Nix. I can't get anything to load now. This is fucking.
Give me Las Vegas. I think Adams probably not going to play. Right. And then I think they're going to go with Madison to start. I think they're going to shake up the whole offense. And your audio just went out. And I don't believe in Gardner Minshew. Just going to throw that out there. I'm surprised they didn't go for a quarterback. They just kept Minshew. I'd call up for somebody at this point. Give him some depth in the quarterback position. But give me the Raiders.
Buffalo Houston has Ian Eagles, Charles Davis. I'm gonna go Broncos
Ooh.
here. Although the Raiders play well when they have weird things like this happen.
Right. Arizona at San Fran. The Red Sea.
Niners.
Give me Arizona. I'm taking that
I
one.
don't know if a weird game. By the way, Ken Burkhardt, Tom Brady have a game at the same time as Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. Not often that will happen, where Fox and CBS will have their A crews on at the same time. Burkhardt and Brady have the Cards and Niners. And then the next game here, Packers-Rams, is actually the Nantz Romo game, which is weird because it's an NFC game.
Oh, boy. Kyle Pitts. caught a pass and
Um,
it's a first down.
I think Pete Alonso just made an error.
It's over though. It's the 8th inning now.
Maybe not.
You got Marte, Taylor, and Freddie Alvarez, 7, 8, 9 hitters for the
Yeah.
Metropolitans.
That's not a bad spot in the lineup, though.
Green Bay
Packers,
in
Rams.
Los Angeles.
Packers have a home game in L.A.
Yes.
Home, it's a home away from home.
Is Love starting?
Yes.
Come on, boys.
Yeah, I'm going back.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Rams they're a pesky team.
Yeah.
They don't quit.
Yeah, they're a weird team. Giants at Seahawks. Decision made.
Easy peasy, Seattle.
Seahawks. Sunday Night Football. Wait all day for this. I don't want to watch this. Cowboys and Steelers.
Give me Pittsburgh. Just give me the Dallas demise.
There's nothing worse than watching a game where you just like don't care for either team. I'll go. Yeah, fuck it. I got to root for something. Let's go with the Steelers.
This is probably the one time I wish WWE had a pay-per-view on Sunday.
Yeah,
this would be it right here.
Where's AEW when you need them? And then
Right.
Saints and Chiefs is the Monday night game. Saints at Chiefs.
I'll be watching
Be more
Raw.
specific. Same.
Kansas City.
We have a really good Raw coming up. Actually, Dance with the Stars has 2 nights next week, so in Dwight Howard we trust. I'm gonna go Saints.
Once he's not touching anybody. Cousins. That's a
Well,
fumble,
they put
baby.
him with they put him with a female pro, so you don't have to worry about him like molesting her.
Damn.
They did have a chick on the show who was under house arrest and eliminated immediately. They tried to glamorize her ankle bracelet. All right,
Police was like,
Lock
look,
Dog.
knock this off.
Yeah, he got eliminated. They asked her, what'd you learn from the show? She said nothing. Well, of course, you really rebuilt your image, you fucking troll.
Bozo.
So Lock Dog points and total. Do you want to kick it off, or do you want me to kick it off?
Give me the points. Minnesota -2.5.
Okay. Points. I will take the Panthers plus 3.5.
Ooh. All right. Your turn.
My lock will be the Seahawks.
A lock. Seahawks. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one. My lock will be
Your lock.
Tampa Bay. Oh, no, that's not fair. The
Okay.
game's going on. The game's going on.
But if you believed it before the game, it's a close enough game. that
Give me
you can
Green
make
Bay.
it.
Green Bay.
Okay.
Green Bay.
Now we have the total and the dog. I already got my total made up, by the way.
Dog, Arizona. I believe they're dogs, right?
I'll confirm for you when
Yeah,
Fandom
San
makes me
Fran.
log
It's gotta
in
be
6
San Fran.
times. Yeah, they're plus 7.5 in that game. I'll go Saints as my dog.
Ooh, okay. And points.
And then my
Or
total is going to be, I'm going to go the under in the Baltimore-Cincinnati game. That's 48.5.
And
You
forgive
know
me.
how the AFC... I'm sorry, what?
What was that?
Oh, do you need me to... I was going to say, you know how the AFC North is.
Yeah.
It's not cold out yet, but it will be soon, so...
Right.
And what do you need?
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but
Yeah.
what's the Miami New England? I'm very curious on that.
36.5, a nice Big Ten number.
Give me under on that one.
Yeah.
36 and a
that's
half?
fun one to... That's a great one to root for, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That's Minnesota, Wisconsin on December 10th. That's
trust-
36. Yeah.
And trust me, I'm not watching that game. I'm on hands and knees.
Yeah, I won't be actively watching that game. I think the broadcast crew for that game is Brenneman and Aaron Hernandez's Soul.
Jesus.
Well, that game will be on. The Phillies play Sunday too, so there's a chance that some of this will be overlapping with the Phils. So
My game?
4:00 both days. Hi, baby girl. They got bored of mommy. I
Dude,
guess.
95 is going to be death.
Yeah, don't fucking remind me. I got it's a good thing the Eagles are on a bye. I got baseball Sunday. I got a double header. So,
How's that going to affect you? You got to go down to Philly?
well, I don't have to take 95 on the way home. I do, but I don't.
Well, on the north desk, right? The northeast side?
Yeah, I guess if I'm coming
Yeah.
north, it won't matter.
Yeah, you're good,
Yeah, I
you're
take
good.
south at 7 morning, so it won't matter too much.
Yeah.
Love the commute on Sunday mornings. By the way, in the fall, especially October, because it's like 65. There's nobody on the roads.
Yeah. it's
Got a
pretty cool.
doubleheader this week. We're playing against the team we beat 2 years ago in the championship, so it's going to be a good competitive matchup too.
That's what's up.
I got all 3 of my top 3 arms going to be there. It's going to be a fun weekend.
Now, this might be a little personal question, but is this it?
I don't know. I still don't know. I never know.
That's fair. That's fair.
This is the first year I think we'll really be tested in the championship if we make it that far. Because I think the team that will finish the 1 seed may go 10-0 in the regular season, whereas we will probably go. They'll either go 9-1 or 10-0 because we might get them next weekend.
Hmm.
But uh, we're at worst going to be 7-3, which is going to be the first regular season we've lost more than one game in a couple of years. So,
Jesus.
but the team we're facing in the championship is going to be awfully good. I can't leave on a loss, but at the same time, if you win, good way to go. But I don't know. I think as long as Dave does it, I'll do it.
That's
But
fair.
next year, a friend of mine, Zach, wants to have like a retirement tour in the summer. So if we do I might join him. I'd like to play with him again. So I don't know.
That would be cool.
Yeah, get the boys back together.
The boys are back in town. That would be fun. Why
That
not?
that league, I think we could probably win a league with the roster. I'm envisioning for that, but I don't know if winning will be the goal. If it'll just be having fun. So
The only thing that's going to be a little troubling for the summer tour is if you do go do it, you're going to have a little
Yeah.
one. You're going to have a little one with you. I don't know how you're going to balance that.
yeah, it'll be tough. Grandma and grandpa are gonna want to see her as often as possible. Though. Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh.
When you see it, you'll know. The Drake London hit. He's on the field, but unbelievable.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
That was loud.
Very loud.
That was very loud. Drake London. Somehow he survived that hit. Anyway, we're going a little bit. We're close to the 140 mark. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties in the beginning. That was my fault.
I would apologize for the technical difficulties too, but my audio will run out.
In 20 minutes.
Oh man, that's
The hit?
blatantly illegal. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
you
now
can't do that.
Now the Bucks went head to head with their own players, and now one is down. Jesus Christ! Concussion is getting a high priority in the first month of the football season. And by the way, I think a Panthers player, defender, wears the oversized helmet.
There's a tight end that wears it too. I forget who it is, but
Well,
I forget who it was. But
that
there's a
player
tight end
got
that wears
hurt. He fell, and I'm like, wait, what's the point of that? That's literally what I said. The
it.
point
It's
of it
supposed to
not
help
get
with. It's supposed to. It's not about getting. I think it's not about overall injuries. I think it's more about concussions.
Oh well, he didn't get concussed, but he left the game.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, I don't know about that.
Looks like we're a commercial. I'm guessing the Mets are going down without a whimper. Now this will be interesting because they're going to miss Peralta game 1.
Yeah, bottom of the 8th.
The Phillies will. I'm interested to see who throws for the Brewers. I guess it'll be. Savali, I guess, would start game 1 most likely. He did go 3 innings on Tuesday, but I guess it's not going to be Joe Ross unless they bullpen.
Maybe. Real quick,
Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But who do you throw game 2? Do you throw Sanchez game 2 or do you throw Nola game 2?
Sanchez.
I think so too. His numbers are better at home.
Yeah,
And Nola's pitched on the road in the playoffs before, especially if you're playing the Brewers. That's not exactly a hostile territory. It's big enough park that you can probably throw Nola and not worry about the home run.
But if that's the case, you can put Sanchez if it's not hostile. But I'd rather have Sanchez.
Sanchez's home numbers are so much better than his road numbers this year, though.
You can give someone confidence, but you can definitely take it away.
Now, question is, game 4, if it goes 4, do you start Ranger Suarez or do you maybe go Wheeler short rest and just Suarez have a short?
Suarez on a short leash. If he's not getting the calls or he's getting hit around,
Yeah.
get him out there.
I wonder if Turnbull will be on the playoff roster. A friend of mine who is about as big as a nerd as I am, he seems to think game 1 because Montas pitched yesterday. What's his name pitched tonight? Myers pitched tonight, and Peralta went game 1. Savali threw 3 innings in game 1. I said, is Savali pitching game 1 against the Phillies? He said, a friend of mine said, I think they go opener and then they use Savali for multiple innings in the middle of the game. So I think Savali will be the main guy they use, but who knows?
Yeah.
Just to give you a preview of the weekend. So there's no games tomorrow, which, thank you, helps with date night. Saturday, you got, I believe, the winner
Saturday's
of this
loaded.
game. So, yeah, Saturday's Tigers Guards at 1, Phillies against the Brewers at 4, Royals Yankees at 6:30, Padres Dodgers at 8:30, and then game 2
Bad
on
blood.
Sunday it's just Phillies and Phillies at 4:30, and then Padres Dodgers, and then Monday is just the American League Series, and then Tuesday I think will be 4 if the series go that far. So
This
we got a
motherfucker
good
get picked
good
off.
good slate. All right, princess. Come here. Say hello to the camera. Camera can't see you. You can't see the camera. All right, look at me. Wait another pen.
All right, guys. I think that's it for episode 153. We're closing in
Hey,
on the 2 hour
good.
mark.
Good little episode.
Yeah,
Gives me something to listen to at work tomorrow.
a lot to get into. Probably skip the
Yeah.
first 15 minutes if it's just going to be music playing.
Is it just the
I hope not, but Jesus, that was bad. That was rough.
Thank God for PC.
Oh my God. A great episode just gone to waste. I got to be better
Well,
than that.
I don't even know what we talked about at the beginning. I would imagine the audio at least rendered on your end on the computer. So
I'm sorry, Bob. They're looking at pregame Baker Mayfield watching. I thought he was watching Kurt Angle highlights. I was just mesmerized. Like, what's he doing? He's just sitting there like this
he's watching Kurt Angle TNA highlights.
on his phone, lean up against something. He's just like,
He was
I'm like, is that
watching
Kurt Angle?
he was watching the Will Ospreay entrance at Wembley.
Bucky Irving. Touchdown. White.
White?
Yeah. Dude, he went for at least 50 yards. And they're in the red zone. Love to see it. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the weekend of baseball. And good luck. And thankfully, we didn't even touch the Eagles too much.
Yeah.
But
Good.
they are
Better that way.
on the hot seat for sure if they don't pull out a win against Cleveland. All right, guys. We'll see.